Well, it was certainly an inspirational performance by our third unit guys in the fourth quarter. The energy, the fight, all that. Freeman was great. Sheppard was great. Newton made some plays. Quentin Jackson was all over the place. And Swider, was out there fighting his butt off with the rest of them. So, unusual ending. Ben Sheppard gets the ball and gets fouled on a three-point play when a guy grabs his shoe or whatever happened. It's just unusual. But really happy for those guys. Those guys played an inspiring, 12 minutes of basketball. We have a lot of work to do before next Wednesday. We're not where we need to be. I've got to really look at what's happening. Our starting group has just not been tied together, and we're not doing a good enough job in a lot of the important areas, with physicality, with rebounding, with, togetherness. So that's on me. And so we'll keep working on that.
Rick, is Enrique like this in practice? What stands out to you about him in all sorts of settings? Because it seems like every game we've watched of him, he's done this and had these kind of performances, rebounds, et cetera.
Yeah, he is, hard play is both a skill and a talent. It's just a part of being talented. Having that kind of motor, that kind of desire. It's elusive to try to define all this stuff, in real time, and when you're evaluating players and stuff like that, and people looked at his age and where he played and stuff like that. But I give our scouting people a lot of credit. Like Ryan Carr really liked him, and a lot of our scouts really liked him too. And I see versatility. I see an amazing amount of desire. And if things continue to go the way they're going with our guys that are top line players, we may need to have him active on opening night to go in there with energy. He's, he had that kind of impact on the game. So happy for him, happy for that group. The fans that stayed were really into it. The place felt like it was pretty full, even though it wasn't. And so good stuff in the fourth quarter.
I know you said you need to take another look at it, but is there anything that stands out to you or an impression you have about something that might be not clicking with the starters the way it was last year?
Yeah, I don't want to get too much into it. We have 5.5 days to try to get better and to get ready. And right now, we're just not there. And so I think we all got to look in the mirror on the whole thing. But we have time, and we can still make progress.
You obviously mentioned Ben at the beginning. I guess is it kind of quintessential Ben to, will this team back into it? Basically, just what does it say for us? Just the energy that you always get from him to pick guys up when you were in that position and be fighting like he was down to the last possession.
Well, he's a proven competitor. I can't give a higher compliment really to a guy going into, at the beginning of his second year. What you're going to get, and it's boundless, it's pure, it's all about the team, and it's all about trying to win a game.
Just as you're, trying to figure out rotations and how everything comes together, just knowing that that's a constant, how much does that sort of just help matters when, whatever, regardless of who you're deciding to put where, just knowing that you're going to be able to rely on him in whatever position or whatever role he takes.
Yeah. Well, again, he's a proven competitor. And a lot of times guys like that are taken for granted because they're great people and they appear to be low maintenance. But it's important that we keep reminding him that, how important he is to our culture, how important he is to our team. Certainly all the really, really positive things he did in the playoffs last year. But this is a new year. But the great thing is that he hasn't changed one bit and likely never will.
For James Wiseman, what have you liked about his play so far throughout the preseason training camp, and what areas are you still wanting him to improve upon?
Well, he's new to our system, so I don't think he's ever played with a team that plays as fast as we do. Although Golden State played at a high tempo, I don't think they were quite as fast as we are. He's just got to keep learning. It's important that things are simple, and that his job is simple. Defensively, we do different things than the last two teams he was with, and so there's some adjustment there. But he's a tremendous person. He's a great worker. He has a pure heart, and he wants to be a part of a team and something bigger than him. And he's a wonderful guy to be around every day.
Thank you. Can you take me through the last play? Have you ever hit a shot with somebody holding your shoe before that?
I don't know if I got touched for real, but let's say that I did. I saw him on the ground, and I felt like I was just going to put something up and hopefully land on him and get that 4-point play. But it went in, and they called the foul, so ended up good, I guess, yeah.
What stood out to you about the energy that group you guys had for that overtime period late in the fourth quarter that got you guys back into it and ahead?
We were just motivated. The early moments of the game just weren't going our way. We had no energy, and we just came in with a spark and tried to bring us back into the game, and we made something happen. So,
Rick was just telling us about hard play being a skill that you have. Yeah. Where does that come from for you? Is there a moment in your basketball life where you realize that that is something you're better at than other people?
Yeah, I mean, it's got me here. Number one, I think going into this game, like Shep said, everything kind of wasn't going our way energy-wise, and our group came in, and that was our job to do, is bring energy. And for me, energy is something I always bring. It's something that I bring every day. Coming from Akron and walk on, like, energy is undoubtedly like a non-negotiable. So I'm bringing that every day.
Just to dig into what you said about being this motivated. I mean, obviously it's a preseason game. It's the last one. You had one quarter left and you're down. Like, where did the motivation come from there? Like, rather than just say, okay, let's just peace and get going to the opener and move on. Like, what was kind of driving you guys to say, like, we're going to make a game out of this, even though it doesn't matter?
I'd say for like guys like me and Enrique, like he said, it's a non-negotiable, and that's how we get on the floor. But it's definitely not a good feeling to feel negativity within like timeouts and coaches getting on to you. So like you just gotta just go out there and try to bring something to the table, and we made something happen. So
yeah, and as much as like the older guys, the vets, they're counting on us to come in and bring that energy, even if they're not bringing it every day. Like they're still counting on us to bring it in. That's our job. So just trying to be an all-star in our job.
But obviously the rotation can shift up and everything like that. There's obviously been different movement as far as lineups are concerned. And there have been games where you haven't played until halftime, I guess. Have you just viewed it as important just to kind of remind everybody that you're still who you are, I guess? And was that fourth quarter, I guess, another kind of sign of that, of reminding everybody that this is how you play all the time?
I just say every chance I get to step on the floor, I'm just trying to showcase the player that I am. Just team player, high IQ player that just plays the right way. And I feel like every time I go out there, I don't need to do anything outside of my skill set. And, just staying ready. Guys like me and Enrique just need to stay ready at all times. And when our name's called, just be able to produce. So.
Did you get the impression you had that one steal in coast-to-coast layup? Did you get the feeling that there was a kind of a mood change there, a vibe shift, I guess, at that point when you made that play? Because you sense everybody else around you kind of getting lifted up.
Definitely. That was a big play down the stretch. And, I'm just thankful the fans stayed around for that ugly win. It didn't look too well, but, it was a fun environment towards the end.
There's probably only so much you can take from 4 preseason games, but as you look ahead to the opener, what's something, your biggest takeaway of what you've liked and what the team needs to work on heading to next Wednesday?
I think the whole NBA knows that we have the probably the most up-tempo offense in the league, and I think if we can showcase that and put together some things on defense that we struggled with in preseason, and I think energy is going to be important. I felt like we came out flat in a lot of these preseason games, so just getting back to that Pacer basketball that we were doing last year, and it's important to remember that last year doesn't matter. Like all the success we had last year, that doesn't matter anymore. It's a new season, so yeah, just taking it day by day.
Enrique, what do you feel like just sort of the most important develops you've made in camp? Obviously, like you said, you come in and your baseline is hard plays where you would get you on the floor. But how do you think you've become a better player in maybe other areas over the course of this game?
Yeah, I think for myself, being versatile on defense and being able to guard multiple position can help this team. And I think my motor and the way how hard I play helps this team. I think we play with such a fast pace on offense, and my game complements that. So I think for me, and also just working on my shot, and overall as a rookie, learning a lot, and getting the system down pat. Some of these older guys like Shep. So yeah.